Coping with COVID, episode 640. It's been a bumpy start to 2022. Hear why.
There's no intro. How are ya?
I'm good. You?
Good, thanks.
We're talking with a survivor, a very special guest this morning.
COVID man.
COVID man. I'm going to turn the volume up a touch. COVID man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Good. So, you know what? It's incredible that so many people. I think we're at it now. I think it's our 5th or 6th person in our office that's had it, and it's bloody incredible that logistically how everyone's going to have to survive through this, because you know and the symptoms are obviously different with everybody, but you know it is what a crazy time to have it. People have missed out on significant family gatherings, you know, cafes, restaurants. People are really missing out. But you know, it's interesting. The medical, there's less people on ventilators this time of the year than there was last time.
And that's
the year, like 12 months ago.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. One of the guys from the office was taken down pretty hard. I think the unvaxxed. Some people have taken it slightly harder on the unvaxxed, from what I can see in the business. What do you reckon?
Well, we just said off air we've got to come on this morning and just have a chat about it, and
Can't ignore it.
I just think it's more than anything, you know, obviously making sure people are happy and healthy. That's the most important thing, but soon behind that, it's going to be a logistical nightmare for any employer or just group of people that are trying to do a job in a group. I mean, it's like you say, 6 people out of an office is insane. And then you've got friends, family.
Yeah, well, I noticed about a week ago they changed it a little bit, where you had to be around someone for 4 hours at work. Because I think what was happening, I think it was just blowing up whole workplaces that were actually functioning, you know, quite normally. Next thing you know, everyone had to stay home and then come back and then stay home and then come back and then stay home and come back and stay home. So it was sort of getting a little bit logistical nightmare. So I think that's a pretty interesting change.
Yeah, it's tough though. You talk about six people in the office that are now having to stay home. You know, makes it challenging. Can people actually work from home? But it does slow things down for sure. We said off air, it's interesting to see that you're still able to function though. It's not like you're dying. You're still here, Mark.
Alive.
Good looks don't fade during COVID.
Alive. Mate, it's you know, I think just the worst things. The worst things were just a chesty cold, like a chesty cough. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just there.
Yep.
And I'd probably reckon the dead ringer was at nights. It was just running a bit hot. Not sweats, but just you could just know, like you didn't have to have the doona on you, and I was like, something's going on.
We've got another side effect. Some people.
Mate, I've lost audio. I can't hear you.
We can't hear. We can hear you. Some people have suffered more than you, though, Mark, during this. All right, well, Mark is out. He should join back in. But yeah, bumpy start for 2022. We are back into the office now, working all the way back through now. Here's Mark.
Back. I got you back.
You here? Can you hear us?
Yeah, but sorry about that. Had a call
We were
come in
just
there,
saying
just stuffed
it has been
all the audio.
it has been a bumpy start to 22. Not quite as smooth sailing as we thought.
Yeah, you know what? I reckon it's going to get even bumpier the next week or two, with people off work and stuff like that. But I think the medical system's been excellent. The pharmacy's been saviours. Partners have been amazing. People like having a great wife that can look after you and drop food off at the door. You know what? It's actually a strain on the family. You think about patient X, or think about the person that's got COVID, but the people around them, it actually affects them pretty heavily as well. It really stuffs around a lot of people. Look, I'm glad that most of this discussion, from my experience, hasn't been around medical. Like that, and it seems this strain's a little bit lighter, but it's still mentally a bit of a head fuck, and I think for family it's pretty tough.
Without a doubt. So we have a family member that is positive at the moment, and fortunately, it's actually come at the best time ever, Mark, for us as a family, or for me at least, because I've been out of the house pretty much the whole time due to New Year's Eve, then New Year's Day. I was out with friends. So as a family, and I was saying to Mark off air, he sits in his room playing Xbox, my brother. So we're lucky that we don't see him too much anyway. But yeah, if it was any other day, and especially for people with family, the big celebrations like the Christmases has the potential to take the whole lot down with them, because of course you're going to be spending majority of the time with them. It's
massive, and I think also in terms of productivity and business efficiency, it's just a little bit quieter this time of year. So I find having had it, it was quiet. It's just that little bit quieter. So yeah, I think it's probably not a bad thing to in December and January to be enduring what we're enduring, rather than other times looking at it from a business perspective and running of a business. But yeah, I'm just very, very thankful that medically, it seems like the whole economy is doing all right medically. So yeah, like I know I saw Tom Panos, the trainer, was saying, I'll say it again, the most amazing thing I thought was those ventilators. There's less people on ventilators in Australia today than there was this time last year. I thought that was an amazing stat, given how many people have COVID.
Yeah, without a doubt, some people have been hit harder than others, though. Hospitality. Yep. I mean, imagine trying to run a kitchen and your head chef goes out for 7 days, or you've got a number of key people in the business that really people can't adapt into those roles. I mean, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually a very good stress test on business. And I think that, irrelevant to COVID, businesses should be able to endure, to a degree, this sort of turmoil. So I think it's a really good for people that are in business, working. It's just a really good, different perspective and way to look at business. And you want to make sure that your business can still, it's not going to be as effective, but still, hum along with or without key people in the business.
Yeah, gives everyone a good opportunity to put a helping hand in.
Yeah, and it seems to be we're blaming your fault for spreading it, Billy. it's the youth. It's the youth. The youth are just peppering it everywhere.
The young Ashes of DY.
The young Ashes of DY just like throwing it around everywhere with no regard.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. Look, I'm sure it'll pass through at some point, but that's not a reason to not carry on as normal. Mark Novak's the living proof that even with symptoms, you do the right thing, make sure you look after yourself, but you can still work. Symptoms to symptoms, people are obviously different, but case to case. But yeah.
Well, look, and I think we can't ignore that it's good that we're 95% vaxxed as a state. That's got to have been made a huge dent in pushing through this. But obviously, we're still dealing with the logistics of getting it, and not being able to operate as normal. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. But anything else you want to add?
I survived.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
Get you a badge for that or a certificate.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see when we look back in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the perception on someone who's had COVID, if that's a good thing when you're traveling, is it a bad thing, with your boosters and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be interesting.
That's it though. No medical advice here. We're just coming on to have a quick chat and have a bit of a, because I feel like it's better to talk about it. People were, I personally think people are a bit reluctant to say, oh, I've had it or I've got it, or, everyone knows it's around us, but to actually, you're like probably the first, apart from my brother, the first sort of person you work alongside with or friend you would see really regularly that has it. Something like that.
Yeah, and we even discussed not talking about it. We're like, like it's a bit of a hard one to talk about. And I know I had our photographer got it, and I was just like, mate, come on the show and do a thing on it. And he's like, I did some posts, but I deleted them. People are a bit gun shy about it, so I think it's pretty out there now that everyone's getting pretty comfortable and because you do carry some guilt with you that you hope you didn't pass it on to anyone and and stuff like that. So and you want to be really respectful of it, so you don't want to sort of put on social media and make a thing of. But I don't know, like I think it's really important just to get out there because everyone has 1,001 questions when they speak to a survivor.
So good. Well, at least you are surviving.
Yep. Awesome.
That's it.
Take care, Billy. Have a great week. And everyone,
Likewise.
we are in a new year. This is the first show of 2022. What
a way to start it. I do like the ring to it, the 22.
It's got a
positive.
Cool ring. And you know what? What's really interesting is when COVID-1 really hit hard, property did well. When COVID-2 really hit hard, property did well. If this is C3 that's coming through now, it's going to be interesting to see if property does well again. It could well do. It could well do. You never know.
Well, we were doing everyday opens leading up to. So basically every day in between the public holidays, we were opening property and we were doing these little things called pop-up opens, Mark. And that's where you get a private appointment and then post the time online for a vacant property and, invite more people to come through. Whilst you're there, you might as well open the door for everyone, right? Yep. So we found the numbers did not drop off at all. And I think people having time to be at home were coming to look at property. And Massive. So even with sort of less than 24 hours, you'd have a call come through for a private appointment, you'd post the time online and you'd still get numbers coming through from the public having a look online. It was really good.
So people are still out and about and happy to get out there and be respectful of each other's space, not shaking hands, wearing a mask, and have a great day.
We've got Novak masks. Look at that.
Yeah, it's stylish. Wow, put it on.
Yeah, it's quite fancy.
Give it a hit. This is the newest fashion item at Novak.
Novak masks.
Wow, and he's got little logos on it.
Yeah. So I went shopping in it the other day, and people are shopping for some sunglasses. And they're like, "What do you do?" And I just waved the mask at them.
You would have been so popular.
Got me a discount. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, have a good one.
Have a cracker. Look after yourself.
Speak soon.
Ciao for now.